Are you ready to take control of your life? Are you sick and tired of living life on other people's terms? Of letting others dictate what you can and cannot do? If so, then you need to hear this message loud and clear. Never tell people what you do. Too many of us go through life shackled by the expectations and limitations imposed by others. We let their doubts and criticisms hold us back from reaching our full potential. But I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power to break free and live life on your own terms. Imagine for a moment what your life could be like if you stopped caring about what others thought. If you stopped seeking their approval and validation. If you had the courage to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule. That's the kind of life that awaits you when you embrace the philosophy of never telling people what you do. Right? Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but is not it important to be considerate of others? To take their opinions into account? And you're right, to an extent. We shouldn't go through life being selfish and inconsiderate. But there's a difference between being considerate and letting others control your life. You see, when you tell people what you do, you're giving them the power to dictate your actions. You're allowing them to plant seeds of doubt and negativity in your mind. And before long, those seeds start to take root, and you find yourself paralyzed by fear and indecision. But when you embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, you reclaim that power. You take back control of your life and your destiny. You become the captain of your own ship, charting a course towards your dreams and ambitions without being beholden to anyone else's expectations or limitations. Right? Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but won't that make me come across as arrogant or self-centered? And to that I say, absolutely not. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When you live by the philosophy of never telling people what you do, you're actually being more considerate and respectful of others. Think about it this way. When you seek the approval and validation of others, you're essentially saying that their opinions matter more than your own. You're putting their desires and expectations above your own dreams and ambitions. But when you never tell people what you do, you're acknowledging that your life is your own to live, and that you alone get to decide what's best for you. And let me tell you something, people respect that kind of self-assurance and confidence. They may not always agree with your decisions, but they'll respect the fact that you're living life on your own terms, and that you're not letting anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do. Right? Now, I know that embracing this mindset isn't always easy. We've been conditioned from a young age to seek the approval of others, to conform to societal norms and expectations. But if you want to truly live a life of freedom and fulfillment, you have to be willing to break free from those chains. And let me tell you, once you do, it's like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. You'll feel a sense of liberation and empowerment that you've never experienced before. You'll be able to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule. And you'll be able to live life on your own terms without letting anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do. But don't just take my word for it. Let me share with you a story that illustrates the power of never telling people what you do. Many years ago, I had the pleasure of meeting a young man named Michael. Michael was a budding entrepreneur with big dreams and even bigger ambitions. But everywhere he turned, he faced doubt and criticism from those around him. His friends and family told him that his business ideas were unrealistic and that he should just stick to a safe and secure job. His colleagues and peers mocked him for his aspirations, telling him that he'd never amount to anything. And even complete strangers would look at him with disdain and skepticism, as if to say, "Who do you think you are?" But you know what Michael did? He never told them what he did. He ignored their doubts and criticisms and pushed forward with his dreams and ambitions. He worked tirelessly day and night to turn his ideas into reality. And you know what? He succeeded. Against all odds, Michael built a thriving business empire that not only made him wealthy beyond his wildest dreams, but also allowed him to positively impact the lives of countless people. And do you know what the best part is? Those same people who once doubted and mocked him were now clamoring to be a part of his success. They wanted to bask in his glory and ride the coattails of his achievements. But Michael didn't let them. He stayed true to himself and his philosophy of never telling people what he did. He didn't seek their validation or approval because he knew that he didn't need it. He was living life on his own terms, and that was all that mattered. Okay? Now, I'm not telling you this story to brag or to make you feel jealous of Michael's success. I'm telling you this story because it's a powerful example of what can happen when you embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do. When you stop seeking the approval and validation of others and start living life on your own terms, that's when true success and fulfillment become possible. That's when you're able to tap into your full potential and achieve things that others can only dream of. But it all starts with that mindset shift, with that willingness to break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations, with that courage to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule. And let me tell you something, it's not always easy. There will be times when the doubts and criticisms of others will start to creep in. There will be moments when you'll feel like giving up and conforming to societal norms and expectations. But in those moments, you have to remember why you started down this path in the first place. You have to remember the dreams and ambitions that once burned so brightly within you, and you have to find the strength and resilience to keep pushing forward, no matter what obstacles or challenges stand in your way. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. The only approval and validation you need is from yourself. And when you embrace that truth, when you live by the philosophy of never telling people what you do, that's when true freedom and fulfillment become possible. So let me ask you this. Are you ready to take control of your life? Are you ready to break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations? Are you ready to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule? If so, then repeat after me. I will never tell people what I do. I will live life on my own terms, and I will not let anyone else dictate what I can and cannot do. I am the captain of my own ship, and I alone get to chart my course. Say it with conviction. Say it with passion. Say it with the kind of unwavering determination that can move mountains and overcome any obstacle that stands in your way. Because when you embrace that mindset, when you truly internalize the philosophy of never telling people what you do, that's when the doors of opportunity will start to open for you. That's when you'll be able to tap into your full potential and achieve things that others can only dream of. So what are you waiting for? The time for action is now. The time to take control of your life and live it on your own terms is right here in this very moment. Don't let anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do. Don't let their doubts and criticisms hold you back from reaching your full potential. Embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, and watch as your dreams and ambitions become a reality. It won't be easy, but nothing worth achieving ever is. There will be challenges and obstacles along the way, but with the right mindset and unwavering determination, you can overcome them all. So go for it, my friends. Embrace the philosophy of never telling people what you do, and watch as your life transforms before your very eyes. Watch as you break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations, and take control of your own destiny. The road ahead won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And at the end of the journey, you'll look back with a sense of pride and accomplishment, knowing that you lived life on your own terms and achieved things that others could only dream of. And let me tell you, when you truly embrace the philosophy of never telling people what you do, it's like a whole new world opens up to you. A world where limits and boundaries no longer exist. A world where you're free to dream as big and as boldly as you want, without anyone telling you that it's impossible. Because here's the thing, My friends, the only limits in this life are the ones we impose on ourselves. When we buy into other people's doubts and criticisms, when we let their fears and insecurities become our own, that's when we start to put up walls and boundaries around our dreams and ambitions. But when we embrace the mindset of never telling people what we do, those walls come tumbling down. We're no longer shackled by the limitations and expectations of others. We're free to soar, to reach for the stars, and to achieve things that others can only dream of. Right? Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. But is not it important to listen to advice and feedback from others? Shouldn't we take their perspectives into account? And you're absolutely right. It's important to be open to different viewpoints and to consider the opinions of those who have more experience or expertise than we do. But there's a big difference between listening to advice and letting others dictate what you can and cannot do. When you embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, you're not shutting out the world or ignoring the perspectives of others. You're simply choosing to be the ultimate arbiter of your own life, the captain of your own ship. You're willing to listen to advice and feedback, but at the end of the day, you're the one who gets to decide which course to chart. And let me tell you, that kind of self-determination and self-reliance is a quality that is deeply admired and respected by others. People may not always agree with your decisions or your approach, but they'll respect the fact that you're living life on your own terms and that you're not letting anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do. But don't just take my word for it. Let me share with you another story that illustrates the power of this mindset. Many years ago, I had the pleasure of meeting a young woman named Sarah. Sarah was a talented artist with a passion for painting and a dream of one day having her work displayed in the most prestigious galleries around the world. But everywhere she turned, she faced doubt and criticism from those around her. Her parents told her that pursuing a career in art was a waste of time and that she should focus on something more practical and stable. Her friends mocked her for her lofty ambitions, telling her that she'd never make it as an artist and that she should just give up on her dreams. Do you know what Sarah did? She never told them what she did. She ignored their doubts and criticisms and continued to pursue her passion for painting with unwavering determination. She worked tirelessly, day and night, honing her craft and perfecting her skills. She sought out mentors and teachers who could help her grow and develop as an artist, but she never let anyone else dictate what she could and couldn't do with her art. And you know what happened? Against all odds, Sarah's talent and hard work paid off. Her paintings started to gain recognition and acclaim, and before long, she was being invited to showcase her work in some of the most prestigious galleries around the world. And do you know what the best part is? Those same people who once doubted and mocked her were now clamoring to be a part of her success. They wanted to bask in her glory and ride the coattails of her achievements. But Sarah didn't let them. She stayed true to herself and her philosophy of never telling people what she did. She didn't seek their validation or approval because she knew that she didn't need it. She was living life on her own terms, and that was all that mattered. Okay? But it's not just about achieving success and recognition, my friends. The philosophy of never telling people what you do is about so much more than that. It's about living a life of authenticity, a life where you're true to yourself and your values, and where you're not letting anyone else dictate who you are or what you can achieve. Because here's the thing, when we let other people's expectations and limitations dictate our lives, we start to lose sight of who we really are. We start to conform to societal norms and expectations, even if they go against our deepest desires and passions. But when we embrace the mindset of never telling people what we do, we reclaim our sense of self. We're no longer beholden to anyone else's definition of success or happiness. We're free to define those things for ourselves and to live a life that is truly authentic and fulfilling. And let me tell you, there's nothing more liberating or empowering than that. When you're living life on your own terms, when you're pursuing your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule, you'll experience a sense of joy and contentment that is simply unmatched. But it's not just about personal fulfillment, my friends. When you embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, you also have the power to inspire and uplift those around you. Think about it. When you have the courage to live life on your own terms, to pursue your dreams and ambitions without letting anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do, you're setting an example for others to follow. You're showing them that it's possible to break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations and to live a life of true freedom and fulfillment. And let me tell you, that kind of inspiration and leadership is something that is sorely needed in this world. Too many people are trapped in lives that they didn't choose for themselves, trapped by the expectations and limitations of others. But when they see someone like you, someone who has the courage to live life on their own terms, it can be a powerful wake-up call. It can be the spark that ignites a fire within them, the inspiration they need to start pursuing their own dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule. And before you know it, you'll have started a ripple effect that can change the lives of countless people around you. So never underestimate the power of your example, my friends. When you embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the lives of those around you too. But of course, none of this is easy. Embracing the philosophy of never telling people what you do takes courage, resilience, and an unwavering determination to stay true to yourself and your value. There will be times when the doubts and criticisms of others will start to creep in, when you'll be tempted to give up and conform to societal norms and expectations. There will be moments when you'll feel like you're all alone in your pursuits, and that no one understands or supports your dreams and ambitions. But in those moments, you have to dig deep and find the strength to keep going. You have to remember why you started down this path in the first place. And you have to draw inspiration from the countless others who have walked this road before you. Because here's the thing, my friends. You're not alone in this journey. There are countless others out there who have embraced the mindset of never telling people what they do and who have achieved incredible things as a result. Think of the great innovators and visionaries throughout history. People like Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, and Steve Jobs. These were individuals who refused to let anyone else dictate what they could and couldn't do. They ignored the doubts and criticisms of others, and they pursued their dreams and ambitions with unwavering determination. And look at the incredible impact they've had on the world. They've changed the way we live, the way we think, and the way we see the world around us. They've pushed the boundaries of what's possible and opened our eyes to new horizons that we never even knew existed. And you know what? They all started out just like you and me. They were ordinary people with big dreams and big ambitions who had the courage to embrace the mindset of never telling people what they did. So if they could do it, then so can you. If they could overcome the doubts and criticisms of others and achieve incredible things, then there's no reason why you can't do the same. But it all starts with that mindset shift, with that willingness to break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations, with that courage to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule. And I know it's not easy. I know that there will be times when you'll feel like giving up, when the weight of other people's doubts and criticisms will feel like it's crushing you. But in those moments, I want you to remember something. You are not defined by the opinions of others. You are not limited by the expectations and limitations that they try to impose on you. You are the master of your own destiny, the captain of your own ship. And you have the power to chart a course that is truly your own, a course that leads you to the fulfillment of your deepest dreams and ambitions. So don't let anyone else tell you what you can and cannot do. Don't let their fears and insecurities become your own. Embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do and watch as your life transforms before your very eyes. It won't be easy, but nothing worth achieving ever is. There will be challenges and obstacles along the way, But with the right mindset and unwavering determination, you can overcome them all. And when you do, when you finally achieve those dreams and ambitions that once seemed so out of reach, you'll look back on this journey with a sense of pride and accomplishment that is simply unmatched. You'll know that you did it on your own terms, that you didn't let anyone else dictate what you could and couldn't do, and you'll be an inspiration to others, a shining example of what's possible when you have the courage to live life on your own terms. So go forth, my friends. Embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, and watch as your life transforms before your very eyes. Watch as you break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations and take control of your own destiny. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And at the end of the journey, you'll look back with a sense of pride and accomplishment, knowing that you lived life on your own terms and achieved things that others could only dream of. So what are you waiting for? The time for action is now. Embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, and watch as your dreams and ambitions become a reality.
die.